UFC Fight Night, Bonfim versus Brown on Ageless Talk Sports podcast and YouTube. And also make sure you subscribe for all my latest content. So are you guys ready to go to UFC Fight Night, Bonfim versus Brown? Let's go. But first, we have an update here of who you got. UFC Fight Night Vegas 110. 3 votes. That's all I got. 3 votes. It's okay. It's fine. At least I'm getting some votes. But Garcia versus Onama. Garcia wins in TKO. And most of you had Onama at 67% to 33%. And I had a like and a comment. But 3 votes. Garcia gets the win. And I just want to know, what do you guys think? Where's he going to go in the division, featherweight division? All right. Does he get a title shot here soon in the next year? So we're going to go into the main card. Here we go. Ready? So we have Christian Leroy Duncan versus Marco Tulio as we take a look at the betting odds off ESPN Bets and your tail of the tape. They're both similar in age. Leroy Duncan is 6'2", Tulio is 6 foot. It looks like he's a switch. He can go either way. And 79-inch reach to 74.5. So Duncan has a pretty slight edge in reach there. 9'8", 6'5", 4.5. 4.5-inch reach as you take a look at the significant strikes landed and per minute and all that stuff. And it looks like you got a straggler and a grappler, but it looks like Leroy Duncan can grapple as well. So we're going to take a look. This is a middleweight division, and it says a minus 160, but it also says a plus 150. So Tulio is actually favored at a minus 180. So it's been bouncing around like crazy. So Duncan's power at 78% KO rate tests Tulio's undefeated streak. So Tulio is undefeated. Now, high output banger potential in this one, but give me Duncan KO in the first. What do you think about that? All right, moving on. Now we're going to Chris Padilla versus Ishmael Bonfim. So I guess they're brothers. So we got brothers that are on the same card here, which is pretty cool. So Chris Padilla is at a plus 170 according to ESPN Bet, and then Ishmael Bonfim is at a plus 200 in the lightweight scrap. 21-7 for Padilla and 21-4. They both have 21 wins. Bonfim is also favored on this site as well at minus 300. So this is a brother versus brother card. We just got that answer. Ishmael's volume striking at 6.1 overwhelms Padilla's durability issues. So Bonfim gets this one at via TKO. I'm picking the finish. Picking the win and the finish on this one. Now, I'm going to go fast here. We're going to dive deeper into the main card here in the main fight. But we're going to be looking at Salikhov versus Medic. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Medic? It might be Medic, since it's like Ukrainian or Russian. So on here, ESPN Bet plus 140 for Salikhov, and then a minus 170 for Medic. So Salikhov, I might be the other way around. I'm messing it all up. But I'm picking the southpaw. I don't care. I'm going southpaw. King of Kung Fu Salikhov returns from injury with elite striking at 5.8 significant strikes. Medic is an aggression, could backfire on him. Salikhov via KO in the first. Now let's take a look at Matt Schnell. It's the Schnell. Spelled weird too. Like I thought it was S-H-N-E-L, but it's not. It's S-C-H-N-E-L. Anyways, flyweight division, 16-9 versus 17-3. Now Joseph Morales came off a big win, and he just fought in the Ultimate Fighter this past season. But Schnell is favored at a minus 150. As you take a look at the tail of tape here, Schnell's plus 260. Morales is at a minus 3. It looks like a 300, 330. I can't read very well. Both about the same height. About 4-year difference in age. He's got a little bit of a reach, though. Schnell does. But on here, it actually has Schnell as a underdog. And on this other one, I have these lines have been moving drastically the past couple days because I just got that yesterday, and then I got this updated version that I'm talking about with Schnell at minus 150. So Morales was the favorite. Now he goes to the dog, but I gotta go. Man, I gotta go with Morales because I really like him. But Schnell's experience and grappling edge and 4.2 takedowns in 15 minutes should neutralize Morales' power, but I think Morales' power overwhelms Schnell. I think he clips him, maybe a check hook or an uppercut as he tries to go inside, and I think Morales, I like Joseph Morales, he's really cool, and give me that win. That is the co-main event. Now, I hope you guys are ready, because we're going to be checking out the tail of the tape of Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Brown. This is the brother-brother matchup, he's not fighting against his brother, but Bonfim's card here as we take a look at some tail of the tape. 6'1 to 6'3, 72-inch reach to 78. And let's see, orthodox to orthodox, so they're both going to be right-handed fighters. Now, Randy Brown, the Jamaican, he's at a plus 150, according to this. But I think, like I said, the line has been closing pretty drastically on each side. But Gabriel Bonfim is a minus 185, 18-1. Bonfim looks pretty dangerous as you look at the significant strikes and the grappling. But Randy Brown, he's got some power in those punches. This is UFC Vegas 111. Check it out on ESPN Plus. And it's going to be Saturday night, I believe at 7 o'clock. But don't quote me on that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this matchup here as I'm trying to look at this here. So Gabriel Bonfim, 26 years old, like I said, 18-1. He's 5-1 in UFC. He's a submission specialist with a black belt in BJJ. Now, Bonfim's earned his UFC contract via Dana White's Contender Series back in 2022. He's got a 17-fight win streak snapped only by Nicholas Dalby with a TKO back in 2023. He's on a 3-fight tear right now. He got a Darce choke over Chaos Williams back in May of this year. He's got a split decision over Wonderboy Thompson, which some controversial third round decision there. Wonderboy looked really good in this. I just watched this back in July. Wonderboy Thompson looked really good. I think he actually won, which begs to differ how Randy Brown's going to do in this. The stats highlighted his ground game with 3.8 takedowns in 15 minutes, 2.1 submission attempts, and 70% finishing rate with 13 submissions. His striking is functional, though, with 4.5 significant strikes per minute. But he closes the distance aggressively, initiates his clinch. And at 5'10", 72-inch reach, he's compact and explosive, but his takedown defense, 55%, has been tested, though. So this is his first main event and third fight of 2025. These fighters have been staying busy, signaling UFC's investment in Bonfim family with his brother on the opener, co-main opener we just talked about. Now we're going to take a look at Randy Rude Boy Brown. He's 20-6 and 14-6 in the UFC. 6'3" southpaw. Gotta love that. For some reason it says orthodox on the tail of the tape, but he is southpaw. The 80-inch reach. That is a big advantage here. Someone said it says 78 right here, but according to this, he has an 80-inch reach. Brown is a rangy knockout artist, and he's been around since 2016. He's got some highlight KOs against Brian Barbereno and Jared Gordon. 4 of his 6 losses came via finish by 2 submissions, though, which is going to be scary with Gabriel Bonfim as a jiu-jitsu specialist. Now, his elite striking is a 5.9, and he has 48% accuracy. He's got 65% knockout rate, but his grappling isn't all that great with only a 62% takedown defense, and he's been submitted twice. We just talked about that. So Brown's confidence and peaking post Dalby, but a 34-year-old, questions linger on his durability against the youth and the chokes of Gabriel Bonfim. Brown's reach 6 inches advantage over Bonfim. So you're going to be watching Randy Brown trying to keep him at bay and watch out for those inside trips or kicks that Bonfim's going to try to do and take him down. So Bonfim's bread and butter here is the grappling. So you got a grappler and a striker. He averages 4 minutes of control time per 15 minutes, and he changed takedowns into subs with the Dana White Contender Series win, like the guillotine that he just did. Brown stuffed 62% of shots, but is folded under pressure. 4 and 7 takedown defended against Wendell Zaleski, and Brown's jiu-jitsu brown belt helps him a little bit in scrambling, but his sub defense is really kind of iffy there. Some people have Bonfim in a decision, but who knows? We're taking a look at some cardio. 5 rounds favor Bonfim's pace. Brown could fade later in rounds if it comes to a grinding, because he lost to Brian Battle. Bonfim's youth and momentum's 3-0. Brown's experience 20 UFC fights. So Bonfim imposes wrestling early, grinding Brown against the Apex small cage for control, similar to his Thompson win, despite controversy over meaningless round 3 stalling. Now Brown needs a knockout. As a 5-1 striking absorbs per minute, is a liability against Bonfim's chin, only 1 KO loss. So you're looking at the losses that each fighter has, and it's ones with like a knockout and ones with 2 submission losses. And they're both fighting each other, a stand-up and a grappler. So it just depends on if Randy Brown's takedown defense is legit and he can keep the fight standing. Some say Bonfim submits him via Darce choke in round 2, and it could be a performance of the night, catapulting him in the top 15. This is going to be a really tough one. Excuse me. This is going to be really tough for me because I like the stand-up guy, and I like the lefties. And I got to give some love for my older people. You know what I mean? Because I'm 41. So, and he is, how old is he? He's like 36, I believe. I'm 100% sure. He is 34. So he's 34. And so I'm going to give some love. 35. These stats on here aren't really that great, are they? The tail of the tape is different than what I have here. So they say an 80-inch reach, and on the tail of the tape is a 78, and then it says 34 years old, and he's 35 there. So that's weird. We're just going to go with 34. But I'm going to go with Randy Brown. It's at a plus 150, so it's not too bad. I'll go ahead and take that. If you guys want to do a 5-leg parlay with that, let me know. Because we got, who do we have? The first one was Duncan. Then we had, I think we had Bonfim. So only one Bonfim is going to lose. The first Bonfim is going to win, and the second Bonfim in the main event is going to lose. So there you go. Rude Boy gets the win. Randy Brown. Love you guys. God bless. Tip the waitress.